Hey, it's Glenn. We're back with another software update. We're gonna go over eSign. All right, so we got eSign now on the home page, on the landing page here, and also on the side navigation bar. So go here. This is gonna take you right to eSign dashboard. Going left to right, it shows your pending, in progress, completed, expired. And in a little bit, it will show you what you have one waiting for you to sign. We're gonna jump into the templates. All right, so here's the template page. We already have a couple created. So I'm gonna go over the Arsenal BG service agreement for our new clients. So clicking in here, you can see there's already a lot of pre-filled information and fields. So going from left to right on the page, we have the roles. You can add external users or internal users. Below that has the fields you can drag and drop on there. So on the center, you can see it's an uploaded PDF on here. And I've already had some fields on here, so you can select it. And here's the pages on the PDF. You can collapse those to give yourself a little bit more room. So it will show that you're on your new client with your role, what the label will show, the options under that drop-down field. You can move those up and down with those or add more. And if you have a large list, I'll show you that one below, that you can upload it using a CSV file. Default value, you can have that so it's pre-selected when you upload, when you're actually having this document created as an envelope. And the condition fields, which I'll show below, but you can see some already have it with this icon here that indicates there's a condition on it. I'll just jump through a couple of these fields. This one's a date field. You can have a date selected if you wanted to include time or not. So this one's a label field. I'm utilizing this one to show a date, but there's a couple below that have the text on there that you don't want anything to have an input on it. So that's just, we're using that as a label for now. Going to jump over here. So this one has the conditions. Scrolling down. So the conditions, it looks at all the different fields out there. So that's why it's important to use your labels on these so you can select the proper one. So I have the select terms. So anytime that select term equals 19 months, it's there. You can set the value to, you can make it required, hide this field or show this field. So on this one, I'm going to set the value to the date that we have with our conditions from 19 months out. And then same thing, but with 37 months, if that's selected, we're going to set that date to this, May 31st, 2029. All right, so some other of the fields in there, we have some radio buttons on there. So you can have a couple of them. They're organized by group name. You can see here. So you can only have one of those within the group selected, like a normal radio button would. These over here are some of the check boxes. We have some more labels in here with conditions, basically going off what that term selected, and it sets those values for you. Here's a couple of the drop-down fields as well. This is one of the larger ones we have, 584 values, so that's gets pretty helpful to add the upload with the CSV. So this section, we have a few of these with the radio buttons. As you can see, there's some with conditions. So right here, I'm only showing this one if you have the 37-month term selected, and then goes with this. So if you end up selecting the 19-month selection, these will be hidden when your envelope, and we'll go through that once I actually create this from a template. Radio buttons, you can see this group by guarantees, group by, so you can only have one of those selected. Another condition, hey, I have to, this one, there's 24 conditions around this one. So based on what industry you select, that amount will be generated from that. So 18 appointments to 30 appointments on that one. Here's another label field. Like I said earlier, this label field is to make sure that neither user will have any text input. It's just there and it can't get changed. So here is the actual text field. You can have a placeholder. So once you get on that envelope, it will show a little hint of what to write in there, or you can have a default value with that actual value in there. So here's a label with a lot of different characters in them. We're gonna eventually have the opportunity to lock that down to a certain text size and font and weight. But for now, this is just gonna shrink and grow given that amount of space given for it. Scrolling down through our agreement. So now we got a different color. So this is our internal user on the left side. So go over here from signature, drag that over, just making sure that's labeled, make sure all these fields are labeled, got their username on here, get that title on there. So if you're logged in down the road, that's gonna actually pull the data from our CRM on there. And then date sign, which is different from date. This is gonna be the populated date that you're actually coming into this envelope and coming in here to sign it. So going left to right, we have the company field. This is for the external users where they're going to enter in their company. We have the signature field, which we'll get into that with the envelope when we're opening that for you to sign it. The name field, utilizing that placeholder as well. Title field, and that date sign field. All right, so scrolling down to our last page on our agreement, there's just the same amount of fields. And this basically wraps up our template page. All right, so going back to the template page, we go here to actually create the envelope. So you can start here by creating the envelope. You go from template or new document. I'll just go back to that template page, hit this use template. So it's just going to populate the title with whatever you have named the template. You can have an optional message for the signer that you're sending it to. Expiration date, so if you have time-sensitive envelope that will expire on that given date. Signing order, this is based on those roles on the template that will go in order of signage. So that first user will have to sign it if checked, and then it will alert that second user when they're ready to get signed. Completion redirect URL, this is for that external user. Once they complete signing, this is going to redirect them to the page that you want them to have. So for example, we have them going to our authorization page on Arsenal to actually give that payment for their agreement. So here, these are the roles that we were given and assigned on that template. I'm just gonna make a dummy data one. I'll send it to myself. So here's the internal user. So this is actually able to search the users in our CRM. So I'm gonna type in my name. I'll select that. And then if you want to CC anyone for this, so once this goes out and it's completed, it'll send out those emails to any users you want to have notified. So down here is our preview. So just looking over that same template we had, it shows the same fields we saw. A couple different options you go from here. You can save it as a draft, come back to it later. Customize and send gives you the opportunity to go in there and actually select some of those values before sending it to the user, or you can just send it straight to that user. So I'm gonna hit send. All right, so here I've got my email to sign the document. Okay, so here's that envelope that was created from this template. So drop down with those options. Select 19, sets those dates and numbers down here based on that condition. Or you do 37 and it will change it to those selected conditions. So I'm just gonna go out and fill this out like I would as a new client. Some check boxes. Different industries here drop down. It's a large list, so I'm typing St. Louis to test out that search. Had this default selected on the radio buttons to see how it's working. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here and sign this as a new client. Here's our add signature dialog button. You can draw your name on here, or you can come in here and type it. And there's different fonts, casual, classic, whatever you're feeling. Apply to all signature fields. So if there's more than one, then it's just gonna populate that signature you have on there. And here's just the agreement that this is using your signature. So we're gonna apply that, pops on there. Here's that name that I typed in for sending this email, so we'll just leave that. And we'll do software developer. Is that fourth page with the same fields? Do it on here. Okay, so I've come through. All the fields look good. I'm gonna go, I agree, and sign document. All right, so here's that landing page if you don't have a redirect. So now I'm gonna go back to our CRM, refresh this. So now you can see it's been signed, shows off there. Preview might even show that, you can see the user has those updates. You see their values they've selected already. So here's the audit trail. So it shows the user selecting certain fields and signing for it. So hopefully I got my email that it's been signed and it's ready. Yep, there it goes. Signers completed their portion. So I'm gonna go in and review and sign. So I'm gonna go sign as the internal user now. Here's all the fields that that external user selected. Everything looks good. All right, so as an internal user, I have some saved signatures over here. So I can pre-select those if I want, or just draw one for fun and save that for future use. So that one, there you go. Software dev. There's that sign date taking effect on May 14th. I agree, and I'm gonna sign this document. So go back to the envelope. So this is the envelope detail page. You can download signed PDF. You can see everyone's signed. Let's go take a look at it. There's all the external user selections on here. Signatures, all the different fields on here. I'm going to jump to the dashboard. You can see there's been another one completed. You can go here to see that completed one. It's right here at the top. Click it again. And here's that detailed view for that signed contract. There you have it. There's our new e-sign feature on the CRM.